Here is your Storm Team 29 forecast.
And we are now laying the foundation down for a winter storm due into town by tomorrow, by midday for sure. Hello, I'm Storm Team 29 meteorologist Josh Fitzpatrick. A lot of active weather to talk about, but for now the weather is quiet. There's the view outside live in downtown Charlottesville. We have good visibility. The sky is clear. We've had a starry moonlit sky, and temperatures have dropped to below freezing levels in the 20s all across both sides of the Blue Ridge. Dry scans on NBC 29's live Doppler radar. No weather hazards today, tonight, or tomorrow morning. So if you need to travel or do some of that last minute winter storm prep, today is the day to do that. We're watching the clouds fill on in from the west, so not much sunshine later on today. It's all out ahead of a strengthening low pressure area, a winter storm. See that swirl over Kansas and Wichita? That's the piece of energy that's going to dive to the southeast and reform in the northeast Gulf of Mexico and head right up East Coast Main Street, I-95. And since it's moving inland, we're going to get a push of milder air up in the clouds, and that will change the snow over to ice. Look at the expanse of the winter weather alerts from the National Weather Service all the way from North Georgia into Maine, into New England. For us, our winter storm watches are being upgraded to winter storm warnings, which is more serious. That means it's going to happen. We're going to have significant snow and some ice accumulations from early tomorrow afternoon through early on Monday. Let's track it now, hour by hour. Futurecast shows we're okay today, tonight, and tomorrow. Ice storm conditions across sections of the Carolinas into tonight and tomorrow morning. Here's 8 in the morning. Snow breaking out across Southside Virginia, the Roanoke, New River Valley. As early as 11 a.m. into Buckingham and Nelson counties. By midday, I-64 corridor, and then area-wide thereafter. Here's 4 or 5 p.m. snowing heavily at times between that time frame, and then watch what happens towards sunset and thereafter. Here's 8 p.m. Snow goes over to sleet and freezing rain, and that will cut the snow accumulations off. And then here's that dry slot I've been advertising that's last couple days. Here's midnight Monday. The precipitation will begin to shut off by daybreak on Monday. And we're going to be leaning on the lower end of the snow totals because it's going to go over to sleet faster, and we'll be talking about that ice on top of that. About 5 to 7. I'm leaning more on the lower end though. Same thing for the valley. 6 to 10, leaning on the lower end, and 2 to 4 as we head towards the Route 15 corridor, and under 2 inches for the Richmond Metro across I-95. And I am concerned about some ice, a layer of ice, a glaze of ice on top of the snow, 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch, especially south, and gusty winds 20, 30, 40, even 50 miles per hour. So that's important when you get the snow and the sleet and ice. Thankfully, this snow is not going to be as wet or sopping wet as the system we had on January the 3rd. But the bottom line, it could snow at 1 to 3 inches per hour tomorrow afternoon for a few hours, changing to sleet and ice tomorrow night. And the snow totals will be held down because of that. It's not going to be very heavy, but still power outages from gusty winds and hazardous travel. Make sure you download the Storm Team 29 weather app where your weather is always on. You can also send your winter storm photos as well. Today's forecast, sun, then clouds, highs in the 30s. Tonight, teens and 20s. So it's going to be a drier snow at the beginning tomorrow. We're okay in the morning, midday thereafter. Watch out, heavy snow, sleet and ice. Tomorrow night, sleet and ice could put down some coatings of ice on top of the snow. 7-day forecast, some melting on Monday afternoon with gusty winds. A refreeze, icy spots for sure, with more school delays and closings midweek next week, Elizabeth.
Josh. So last time we had that really heavy wet snow. Now it looks like we're getting quite the mix of things.
Oh, yes.
So what do we need to look out for? How do we know what to expect?
Well, it's interesting you asked that question.
Yeah.
I prepared a special graphic for you to illustrate the different types of precipitation. It all has to do with the temperature profile in the atmosphere from cloud level all the way down here at the surface. If it's above freezing from the clouds to the surface, well, you get nothing but plain old rain. However, if it's a little bit below freezing at the surface, you have raindrops that will freeze on impact. We call that freezing rain, a glaze of ice. If the colder air is thicker and you have that thin layer of warm air aloft, you get sleet or frozen raindrops. And that's the sleet that bounces. And then if it's colder than say 32 or below from cloud level to ground level, you get plain old snow. And the wetter the snow, the closer to freezing, the drier the snow, if it's in the teens and the 20s. And it can snow above freezing, but the freezing levels have to be on the very low side. So a potpourri of precipitation is on the way with this system, Elizabeth.
A potpourri of precipitations. That is a
It's a complicated forecast because a difference of a degree or two could mean a lot more snow or just plain old ice.
All right. Well, Josh, thank you. We will be right back.